Hi there, it's Roisin O'Connor here with you again, and today what I was thinking of talking to you about as I was driving home was responsibility, excuses and commitment. And that stems from a training session that I was doing yesterday evening with one of my favourite mentors, Sarah Thompson. And Sarah was talking about the art of reflecting on where we are now, to see where we are in our life, in our business, reflecting on where we are now and taking a responsibility for what has got us to this point, good or bad, and taking a responsibility for where we are exactly, that it's your life, it's your business, so you are where you are today as a result of your actions until now. And once you get to that point of responsibility, of saying, I'm taking responsibility for where I am, it eliminates excuses. You can't make excuses anymore once you actually take responsibility for where you're at. And that's interesting because just before I was on that training call with Sarah yesterday evening, I was listening to something else. And as I was listening to this other particular training, I said to myself, you've been making excuses with something. I identified that I'd been making an excuse on something for quite a while. And I said to myself, black and white, that's an excuse, Roisin. Because everything I say in my mind, the words I tell myself, they're an excuse. Or they're inspiring, or they give power. So, it was interesting that I had that moment of clarity, and then I got onto the call with Sarah, and that's exactly what she was talking about. So I guess really it's time for me to stop making excuses on certain issues and to really start moving forward. So one of the commitments, so to go from reflecting, taking responsibility, eliminating excuses, how to then take the next step. Well, the next step, I think, is making a commitment. And today, I'd like to share two of my commitments, and that way it's out there, because when you put something out, you have to stand by it, don't you? So just one of my commitments, and it's something small, but again, that's what, life is all about. It's about taking the small steps, making the small commitments and sticking to them. And over time you build great habits. And one of those commitments is something as simple as I'm going to the gym 3 times this week, no matter what. Because recently I've had so much stuff going on that, so many other commitments, work commitments, etc., that it's been easy to say, well, today I can't go because I'm too busy, because my business comes first or whatever. Whereas no, this week I'm going 3 times to the gym at least. If I do something else like jogging or cycling, that's extra, but I'm going to the gym 3 times this week. I'm going to the gym 3 times every week between now and Christmas. Okay, so I will be accountable to myself. And now I've told you. So you can ask me if I've been to the gym 3 times. And the other thing was, in my MLM business, we've got this wonderful challenge that's been going on for a while. But really, recently, it's just really taken off, and there's some really great new tools surrounding it and ways of using it that are just make it just easy to talk to somebody. It's foolproof. So my commitment also is to speak to at least one person per day about that particular new program, new challenge that we have. And I made that commitment at 3:30 this afternoon. And just 2 hours later, I had already stuck to my commitment and spoken to somebody about it. Just by simply listening to what they told me. A person I was working with told me that they'd recently crashed their car and they didn't have the money to fix the car or to get another car. So I asked him would he like to do something about it, and he said he would. So I gave him some information about what I do, and I'm going to follow up with him next week when I see him, unless he wants to contact me before then. So I'm happy that I've stuck to my commitment today, and you know, it's not just yoo-hoo, rush. I'm not just telling you because I think I'm great. I'm just thinking that I'm glad I listened to him and I'm glad I opened my mouth, because if he has a need and he needs a new car and he can't see the way to get this new car right now, but you know, by me combining what I'm doing with what he needs right now, you know, it's helping everybody. So with that, I'm just going to leave you with that. You know, what commitment would you like to make today? Are you ready to make today or tomorrow? So that's all I'm going to say. Thank you for watching, and I hope I added value to your day. And talk to you very, very soon. Take care. Bye bye.